The New Revolution by Keegan Long. For my friends, thank you for making every day an adventure like this one. Chapter 7. The restless night dragged on, flooding my mind with an abundance of thoughts. Each minute stretched infinitely, spanning ages and even what seemed to be eternities. My eyes stared impatiently for the door to open. With no way to tell time in the room, the meeting could be in hours or minutes. All I could do was sit and wait. The rest was beyond my control. Hearing the lock of the door click, which shouldn't been happening at how late the hour of the night was, shot me up from my bed. Standing with my back straightened, I clenched my fists but held them at my side. When the door slid open, the guard from before walked in. After the guard took his helmet off, he revealed his true face. A young adult male, but still older when compared to me or my friends, probably in his mid-30s. He was still in his standard Cerberus Guard uniform from before. The man carefully shut the door behind him, locking it with his ring of keys before taking another step closer to me. I instinctively took a small step back closer to my bed, almost falling back onto the battered mattress. The stranger had a welcoming and friendly face. The mysterious guard, as me and my friends like to call him, was a little more on the heavier side, reminding me a bit of an uncle I used to see occasionally back when there were still family reunions and gatherings. He didn't have a beard, but did have a light scruff, probably from a clean shave a few days ago. And now was the time to get some answers. So, do I talk first or do you talk first? I broke the silence. The sooner we got to talking, the sooner I got my answers. I don't have much time, Delaney, so we'll have to make this short. The man finally spoke. He took a seat at the edge of my bed. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up. I took another step back. How do you know my name? I demanded, already on edge about this entire ordeal, afraid it could be some Cerberus plot trying to give them some excuse to finally send me to the capital. And who are you? The guard gave a low laugh. How does anyone not know your name, Delaney? Especially after that show you took part in with Hansen the other day. You were there? I asked, surprised. He nodded. I can't answer all your questions now, unfortunately. The imposter guard was being cautious like myself, taking every few minutes to stare at the door as if someone else might enter. He then turned back to face me. At that moment, I remembered the camera in the room and turned quickly to notice the green light beneath it had been turned off. The guard noticed. I turned it off, don't worry, but it won't take them long to notice. I need answers. The courage buried deep inside me surfaced. I took a step closer to my visitor this time. Now. So do I, but now is not the time. However, I can tell you who I am. My name is Mitch Gardner, and I'm here to get you out of here. Why me? Because you have some friends that would like to see you out of here. Friends in some pretty high places. Mitch smiled like he was seeing an old friend. And you have a pretty well-known reputation outside of these walls. I internally groaned. Not an answer, just more questions. The sweat between my palms continued to slide between my fingers. I don't have any friends outside these walls, and you are not one of them. Mitch, if that was even his real name, chuckled. No, I am not. Don't worry, though. Your friends are all accounted for in the plan as well. He stood and made his way to look out the small window on the other side of my room. I've been watching you for quite some time now, and knowing the type of person you are, I knew you weren't going to leave them. They'll be coming with us. How could I take this man's word? I didn't even know him. Sarah's words resurfaced, but why didn't it feel like a trap? For some reason, I wanted to trust him. I felt like I could trust him. I wanted to trust Mitch, but I had others to think about other than myself. But did I really have a choice? This might be our only chance. It would be a risk I was going to have to take, for better or for worse. How can I trust you? For all I know, you could be a Cerberus spy trying to trick me and my friends. You don't have to trust me, Mitch said, his eyes trained on the vast darkness on the other side of the window. But either way, you and your friends are coming with me. I'm not leaving without you guys. I closed my eyes, irritated. He was right. Of course he was. There was no other way. I was going to have to take the risk and trust him, at least for now. I sighed. Fine. What's your plan on getting us out of here, then? Mitch smiled. Good. We don't have much time, as I fear Cerberus may be on to me now, or getting close. He looked up at the camera to make sure it was still turned off. So that's why I'm breaking you guys out tomorrow. First thing, when the first meal starts. And how do you plan on getting us past all the guards? The likelihood of this going well was not in anyone's favor. If it was just me, I wouldn't care much. But when he involved my friends, there could only be one outcome to this mission. They outnumber us. And by a lot, if you haven't noticed. Mitch sneered. I have a small band of troops that will help us. It will have to be a fast escape. You'll have to run like hell, too. Oh, we can run. I gave him a grin. He may have been watching us these past few weeks, but clearly didn't know what we were truly capable of. Don't worry about us. We won't fall behind. Good. Mitch seemed more convinced that this mission wasn't going to get him killed. Maybe he was just being nice. Then we should have a good chance of getting out of here alive, then. After a few more minutes of talking through details, Mitch approached the door and began fitting on his helmet. Don't worry. He saw the look of unease sketched across my face. We'll get you guys out of here. I promise. I swallowed. Promises usually didn't mean much nowadays. Can I ask you a question before you leave, Mitch? Most of my questions had still gone unanswered. I needed at least one clear answer before he left. Yeah. Shoot. Who sent you to save me? To save us? The President of the United States, of course. The smirk across his face could not go unnoticed. See you tomorrow, kid. He then left, the door clicking behind him. The camera powered back on shortly after he left. I collapsed onto my bed, my body heavy with exhaustion, as I tried to process everything Mitch had explained. Each word replayed in my mind. The details and answers were too much to handle. My thoughts swirled in chaos, and it felt as if my mind was on the edge of a complete shutdown. The room almost seemed to be spinning around me. So, my suspicions were true. The president was alive after all.